Today we're going to start talking about your project. We talked a little bit about it in class, and I know you have questions about it, and I told you I would give you an overview. So this video is going to give you an overview, and it's something that you can go back to and refer to throughout the process. I'm just going to talk through the rubric and the things that we need to accomplish. There are actually some things that you're going to need to take care of this week. So as we endeavor into this process, just know that I'm going to divide the class into half. So we will be doing new content half the class period, and then in most instances, you'll have the other half to work on your project stuff. So if you're at home and you have extra time, you can go ahead and bust through some of this stuff, which is perfectly fine, especially once you get your responses done. So let me just give you an overview of what the project looks like. First of all, the project is 5 test grades, and this is a project that has been done forever in this class. So the first test grade is involved in the things that we do in order to research how to write a good survey. And the first one of those things that you're going to do, and one of the things you're going to do this week, is you're going to tell me about your previous experience with surveys. Now, surveys have changed a little bit over the years because it used to be that we got a piece of paper in the mail, we filled it out, we sent it back in if we wanted to participate. Well, now every time you go anywhere, pretty much, and you have to check in, you're given a survey. So, for example, if you go to the doctor's office, they ask you to fill out a survey. It may be on your phone, it may be on a piece of paper. If you go to the dentist, they ask you to fill out a survey. If you go in somewhere shopping, they will ask you to write a review or give a survey about how your experience was when you came into that particular store. So the experience of surveys has changed over the years, but it hasn't changed the fact that we do them. How we do them has changed, and why we do them may have changed, but it doesn't change the fact that we do them. One of the biggest ways that businesses grade customer service is through a survey. Another thing that is done is a lot of times for product development, they will, excuse me, they will ask you what you'd like to see. If a product wasn't available that met your needs, what would you like to see? And the results of those surveys may actually end up in the development of a new product. Even though we fill out surveys on a daily basis, in many instances, when we write a survey, there are things that we have to learn to avoid, and those things are pretty common. So I'm going to show you the post, which I'm actually going to pull up here. Let me go back. I have this pulled up as a draft right now, just basically because I don't want to assign it until Monday. And so it's in here as a draft. And so you will have a list of, this is the first one of tell me about your survey experiences. So you'll have that one to do. The second one is the 10 things to avoid. So basically what I've done is I've given you a list of resources that you can use down here. And I want you to make a list in a Google Doc of 10 things that you should not do when writing a survey. I want you to go through these particular examples. If you don't feel like you have 10 good ones, you are welcome to go to the internet to find some more. The only thing I do ask you to do is if you're going to go outside of these resources, please give me the website URL for where you get your information for those. So we have things that we shouldn't do when we write a survey, and a lot of that has to do with how a question is framed, how a question is referenced, how things are stated, And so we have to be careful of those kinds of things. So as we go through, we need to think about those. The other thing that comes into account um, a lot more than I think people realize, is that we can have bias when we write research and research questions and survey questions, and we don't even recognize some of the bias that we have. So the other thing that you're going to do is you're going to just basically, in the search bar up here, you're just going to type in writing unbiased research questions. Go look at a couple of sites, and in the document, basically all you're going to do is you are going to pull up a website and you're going to make a list of things that you learned about writing unbiased research questions. Now, you have to give me a total of 6 on the document, and I must have the URL citation. Okay. I'm not saying that you have to give me a properly English citation for these. If you want to do that, you are welcome to do that, but you must give me a URL citation from the URL bar. If I have no citations, those do not count. So if I don't have the URL, they do not count. I must have a minimum of 3 websites that you get these from. So I want a total of 6 facts, 3 websites as minimum, 2 from each. Okay. All right. So we're talking about writing a survey. When we're talking about writing a survey, we're talking about asking people questions about a particular topic. Okay. And I want to show you some examples of things that have been done in the past. And this is one of my girls that did it several years ago. Um, this is on fashion trends, and she was interested. She was actually thinking about going into fashion industry. And she decided that's what she wanted to do hers on, and she picked that, and she went through her process slide and she told me how she executed her survey. And then she went through and she did, what would you rather wear, heels or tennis shoes, flats or flip-flops, boots or heels, leggings or yoga pants, shorts or capris, crop top or tank top, long sleeve or short sleeve, necklace or a bracelet, ring or an earring, clutch or a purse. And then she does her analysis. Now, that is pretty much, and this is her works cited slide for her pictures. And you're going to have to do that as far as your pictures go. This is an example of using a binomial distribution question. And I am restricting you on the kinds of questions you can ask because I don't want you to end up with the math you can't handle. Okay. So here's what you have to do. When you choose a topic, and I would suggest choosing a topic of something that is of interest to you because you're going to be working on this for the rest of the 9 weeks. So it's either something that is a hobby, something you're interested in as a career, whatever that might be. Okay. I've had people take these surveys to college visits with them because they can now prove that they have done research. So you're limited. Whatever your questions are, they have to be 2 response questions. So you're choosing between 2 things, or would you do this, or would you do this? Okay. Or would you do this? Yes or no? Okay. So those are basically your options for your questions. And she did hers on fashion, and that was perfectly acceptable. I've had people do them on politics. I've had people do them on the things at Bonds. I've had people do them on Drum and Bugle Corps. I've had them do them on music. I've had them do them on rappers. Okay. Now, I am not posting until Thursday of this week the post where you can request your topic, because I want you to give some serious thought about what you want to do. You cannot proceed making any questions until I approve your topic. Those that met with me and have already met with me because of the Google Meet already have their topics. You are limited once 2 people choose the same topic. No one else can do that topic. So don't sit down with your friends and say, we're all going to do this and that. No, you're not. So you have to have only 2 people can have the same topic. Okay. So you need to put some good thought into that. If you are number 3 on the list that requests that topic, my answer will be no, choose another one. And because those are time and date stamped, nobody can slide theirs in front of you. So as soon as I post it on Thursday, I would suggest you go in and put your topic in, but you need to put some serious thought into what you want that topic to be. So what do I need to have in this presentation for this project? Well, there's a couple of different things, and I have done this in English and I have done this in Spanish. So guys, if you're Spanish speaking and you prefer to do the Spanish, that's fine. Okay. You need a title slide. You must have 14 slides minimum. You need a process slide, and it must answer these questions. How did I execute the survey? How do you use a random number generator? Who did your peer review? Were there any restrictions on your sample group? Which number did you use to create your PE and confidence interval, which you don't know how to do yet? 1 question per slide, and you must have a picture on each slide. Okay, you don't have to have 1 per choice, just 1 per slide, and don't forget to cite it. Please be careful with those citations. Google Images is not a citation. You must go all the way into the image and get the citation. Google Images does not suffice. Google Clipart does not suffice. So don't use it, because I'm not counting it if you do. The analysis slide, again, is a list of questions. Those you can't answer, that's the last slide you should ever do. And then your works cited slide is basically those citations for your pictures. You are not presenting these slides in class. You will be recording this using a program called Screencastify, and you will be submitting it to me for grading. And so we're going to try to have these finished and be done the week of Christmas break, because you need this off your plate. As singers, you need this off your plate. Okay. So all the presentations have to be completed by then, and I will give you a drop dead date. No late projects accepted. So don't even ask. It's just like the Presidential Graveyard Project. If you don't give it to me by the date, don't ask. In this project, you must meet deadlines. Let me say that one more time. You must meet deadlines, and I will show you why. Notice that in the rubric, it says 10 questions completed. Oh, or they were submitted late. Lost points. Oh, the peer review was submitted late. Lost points. Weekly journals submitted late. Lost points. And again, in the 5th test grade for timely completion, every part that is submitted late costs you. So for those of you that don't think deadlines apply to you, this is going to hurt. So I would suggest you make yourself a calendar. You set some reminders on your phone, whatever you need to do, but don't be late. Like I told the group earlier, you may turn in anything early. You may also submit things for me to look at if you just want me to glance over them, if you don't need me to like double check everything. So, like, if you want me to, I'll look at your 10 questions. I'm going to look at those. Okay. I'm going to look at your topic. I'm going to give you some direction. Then we'll talk about the 10 questions. And then if you get to the point where you're ready to do something and you're not sure you did your randomization right, or you're not sure if you did your PE and confidence interval right, I'll be glad to glance those over and see if I see any glaring errors. Okay. Um, if you are early, I will happily go through and look at yours. So the earlier I get it, the better chance you have of getting feedback. Okay. So that's just an encouragement for you to get that done early. Okay. All right. So this is the rubric, and this is what I need. I have a new, and I haven't put it on here yet. Let me go ahead. I'm going to load this while y'all are on here. I have a new checklist that you may use, and I will open this once I get it loaded. I thought I already had it loaded. Okay, so on this new checklist for the project, basically what I did was I gave you a Word document, and I said this checklist is for your use. Don't give it to me. I don't need it. Okay. So these are the things that you're going to have by the end. This is every single thing that's going to have to be turned in for the project. And I will give you the deadlines for these. Now, it's your responsibility to keep up with those deadlines. That's the reason I gave you the date completed, so that if you get finished with something, you can mark it off and say, oh, wait, never mind, I already did that. And this is when I turned it in. Okay. So for this project, you will be doing your own survey. I was going to play for you one of the ones that I had. I'm just going to play a little portion of it.
For my survey project, I did it on different types of desserts, and the title of my project is Nothing But Desserts. For my process slide, I executed my survey by creating a Google form in which I sent out a link to everyone on my social media. I used a random number generator by simply just Googling up a random number generator. And I originally had 58 responses, so I just narrowed it down to 40 responses. Maria Cook did my peer review. There were no restrictions to my sample, and I used the highest number from each of my questions to create my PE and confidence interval numbers. For my first question, I asked, would you rather have pumpkin pie or apple pie? And 6 people chose pumpkin pie and 34 people chose apple pie. For my p-value, I get 85%, my e-value was 11%, and my confidence interval was 74 to 96%. My second question asks, would you rather have chocolate cake or vanilla cake? 16 people chose chocolate cake and 25 people chose...
Okay, so that's an example of the video. The only person that's going to see the video is me. So you don't have to worry about anybody else seeing that. We used to have to present these in class so everybody would see yours, but you don't do that anymore. We're using technology to our advantage. So as we start going through this, start getting your ideas together about what you want your topic to be, and go ahead and get these first 3 assignments completed this week.